Evolution. Usually involving change and improvement from a previous iteration. A word that the star of this video would probably agree with.
You foul creature!
What's going on, guys? Welcome to, I guess, a new series where I'll be talking about one of the most important and loved parts of the Dynasty Warriors franchise. No, not you. Get out of here. The maps are a crucial part to any Dynasty Warriors game. And today, I'm going to look at the changes for each map, good or bad, from each game, give you my thoughts, and maybe rank them at the end based on how iconic they are, how they handled iconic events. In this video, we're going to be starting out with maybe the most iconic one, the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Alright, you can say what you want.
The day of the Yellow Turban!
And that's enough of that. Let's go. Alright, starting off with Dynasty Warriors 2.
The time for change is upon us. The time of the Blue Dragon is over.
Oh shit.
First off, the map is one of the most iconic in terms of the display, the presentation, the feel of the battlefield. I love Dynasty Warriors 2, Yellow Turban Rebellion. It was always a fun playthrough. I just enjoyed the aspect of the game, the aspect of the map, the feel of it, and even though it didn't have any voice acting, it just felt really fun. The iconic events, Zhang Bao and Zhang Liang obviously being the two, I guess, co-stars of the iconicness of this map, also get their moments to shine in this one. No voice acting to ramp it up, but still two legendary moments with Zhang Liang in the boulders and Zhang Bao in the wind. So Dynasty Warriors 2 for me, in terms of the Yellow Turban Rebellion, was pretty good. Now moving on to its successor in Dynasty Warriors 3.
You flaming idiots!
Probably has some of the most iconic moments in all of Dynasty Warriors. First of all, the map is awesome. Castle in the middle of it. You got the frozen rivers and everything. It's a pretty big map, very similar to Dynasty Warriors 2 in terms of size, and it's just another great feeling map. I love it. I think it's amazing. I believe they switched the roles here a little bit. Zhang Liao gets some frozen magic powers.
Perhaps I am not as strong as I thought.
And Zhang Bao in this game got the lifetime supply of rocks, because my god, not only does he roll them against you, but he throws them down from the side of his cliff as well.
It's not just a boulder, it's a rock!
Loves his rocks in this game. Moving over to Dynasty Warriors 4.
Unleash your rage, my chosen children!
We've got the main map along with, I believe, two other sub-stages for Dynasty Warriors 4 involving the Yellow Turban Rebellion. The main map is pretty enjoyable. Each time I play through, it's just a fun, relaxing, kind of just chill stage, and I absolutely love it. Zhang Bao and Zhang Liang take their moments to the next level. They went to theater school for a little bit, and my god, they put their training to use in Dynasty Warriors 4.
I feel the power!
You got Zhang Bao's eyes popping out of his socket as he feels the caressing power of Zhang Jiao's hand permeate through his body as he... Same thing with his brother, not as kooky as him. He seems to be a little more grounded. I guess he's kind of used to the power by now. But I noticed that a lot of their power comes from their hand movement. Look at these guys, straight up, straight out. You see their hands move, you know the power is coursing through their veins. Well, overall, Dynasty Warriors 4, similarly to the first two games, just a great map overall. One of those chill stages you can just have a great time in. And I enjoyed Dynasty Warriors 4 a lot. Moving on to Dynasty Warriors 5.
Heaven has called for the creation of a new world!
The main map itself it's alright. It's not as good in my opinion as the first three games. It's a bit smaller. I don't think there's any sub-stages or anything for Dynasty Warriors 5. It's decent. It's not too bad. I think it's a little bit smaller in comparison to the first three. I think the events are decent. I think the update in the graphics helped it a little bit, but in terms of the characters' iconic moments, I think the first three games do it a little bit better in my opinion than Dynasty Warriors 5, but still good stages. Zhang Bao is back to his rocks. Zhang Liang has the wind power for the first time. I've noticed through a lot of the games, they switch powers or they gain new ones. I guess it would be pretty devastating if they had like all of the powers that they could do at once. Maybe I should stop giving Koei Tecmo ideas. Anyway, Dynasty Warriors 5 for me is a little Like I said, it's not as good as the first three, but still a decent map, semi-enjoyable in my opinion. Moving over to Dynasty Warriors 6. One of my favorites from Yellow Turban Rebellion. It's probably not as impactful as the first four, but it is one of my personal favorites just because I like Dynasty Warriors 6. The magical elements that Zhang Bao and Zhang Liang have, not as strong. They kind of got nerfed in this one, in my opinion. The Phantom Troops were a little annoying when Zhang Liang summons them, and Zhang Bao was only responsible for the dust in the middle of the map, which you can bypass with a horse. I mean, it's not really that difficult. And then you take down the 2 urns, and then that's an easy wipe with the Yellow Turban's headband. They brought the fire traps back on Zhang Bao's side, but it was given to Zhang Mancheng.
There is no place for you in the new world.
Can't really credit him with that power, even though it's very close to where he's at. So in terms of their power levels and the iconicness of what they did in this one, the voice lines were amazing.
You fools! Your time is finished! You see before you the new age of the Yellow Turbans.
I think the voice lines encompass it beautifully, but they don't get their beautiful cutscenes, they don't get their moment to shine. They got put on the bench in terms of their acting, so I guess from 5 to 6. While Jiang Wei was in Benevolence Boot Camp, they were being told in theater school that they are washed up has-been. Still a decent map though, one of my personal favorites. I don't think it eclipses like Dynasty Warriors 3 or 4 or Dynasty Warriors 2 in terms of the map itself. I think the base additions were really cool, but still one of my favorites, personally for me, coming from Dynasty Warriors 6. Moving over to Dynasty Warriors 7.
The horn has already burned out.
Once again, we go back to shifting. Zhang Liang goes back to his roots with the rocks, and Zhang Bao goes back to his roots with the wind from Dynasty Warriors 2. So they get their original powers back, but very, very nerfed. I mean, Zhang Liang, you can't even really call it a hill. It's barely anything. You just walk up to him. Gotcha, bitch! I mean, he's like 2 feet away and you can catch him. So Zhang Liang 100% got nerfed. Zhang Bao became more of a nuisance. You just had to go around, you had to climb the cliff, you know, do the whole thingy, and then kill him. For me, Dynasty Warriors 7, Yellow Turban Rebellion, the impact of it was very low. Map was okay, definitely among the worst. For me personally, I don't think it was that great. I think the DLC one, from what I saw, looked a lot better. I'm pretty sure it was a revamped version of Dynasty Warriors 2. It looked great, but the map for the vanilla game, which is what we're focusing on here, was okay. The nerf Bao and Liang were, you know, they were okay. You know, I get it. They weren't supposed to be that important. You know, they're not. I get it. So it's going to fall down a little lower for me. All right, then moving on to Dynasty Warriors 8. I guess I got tired of nerfing our boys.
Oh.
And starting off with Zhang Bao's side. So he gets kind of fire and ice abilities, but he mainly gets the summoning jutsu where he pulls out a bunch of sorcery troops in the middle while you're running towards him, which is great. I think it adds a little bit of a dynamic. But is it as iconic as some of the other previous ones? Not really. I think Zhang Liang had a bit of a better time here. He had the ice arrows coming down. I like the map for Dynasty Warriors 8 as well. I think the map is nice. It's big. Semi-reminiscent of like Dynasty Warriors 5 and 6. Got that symmetrical kind of look to it. They added a few more elements into it of saving the peasants and stuff.
Somebody help us!
It had some cool moments for sure. Can't knock it too much. And the map itself, again, was pretty clean. So Dynasty Warriors 8 would get a thumbs up for me in my opinion.
Nice.
And then finally moving into Dynasty Warriors 9.
The yellow heaven must stand!
Zhang Bao would, I guess, inherit the flame trap from Dynasty Warriors 6. A bit of a weaker version of it, because in Dynasty Warriors 9, the map, quote-unquote map, or the area for the fight of the Yellow Turban Rebellion isn't super significant because it's just an open field or plain, or maybe there's a mountain in the back. The map itself is gonna, you know, not do too much. I mean, because the map is the whole map. Anyway, in terms of the iconicness of the characters, the flame trap didn't really feel that significant. I mean, with the gameplay of Dynasty Warriors 9, you can really skip all the cool stuff. You don't really have to pay attention to it unless you're trying to pay attention to it. So definitely a nerf for him, and same thing with Zhang Liang. I think the only thing that made it a little bit more significant is that, one, it's new, so he had the doubles. You know, he had to kill multiple versions of Zhang Liang in order to beat him. So it elongated the experience with it. But again, similar with Zhang Bao and everything of Dynasty Warriors 9, you just run towards them, you find them, you beat them, and you go to the next one. And then that's pretty much it. So if I had to look at all 8, this would probably be my rankings from worst to best. First at the bottom, we're going to have obviously Dynasty Warriors 9. It's really hard to call it a map because again, it's the whole map of China being used for certain likes, and then they go into like smaller portions, which was a decent idea. It just fell flat for me. And then we have, in my opinion, Dynasty Warriors 7, like I've already talked about. It was just I just didn't feel like it was that significant. It was one of those maps where you play to get through it. You don't play to enjoy it. The cutscenes of Liu Bei, that's the important part. The cutscenes of the other people, they didn't have any, except for Zhang Jiao. He had the like special one with everyone. But that's towards the end. The map itself, the playthrough, it just felt like one of those throwaway kind of maps. Then after that, we have Dynasty Warriors 8. The only reason it's here is because I believe the iconic events are a little less significant than some of the previous games. The map I think is great. I think the map is on par with some of the ones above it, but in terms of the iconic event handledness, I think it kind of fell flat for me. Moving over to the next pick for me is going to be Dynasty Warriors 5. So So Dynasty Warriors 5 having a similar effect of Dynasty Warriors 8 in reverse, I guess. The map was good, just a little smaller in my opinion. So in terms of like map, I think Dynasty Warriors 8 was better, but Dynasty Warriors 5 had the better events, more iconic things happening. You had the in-game cutscenes that led you to do cooler things on the map itself. So definitely a more fun experience in my opinion for Dynasty Warriors 5, but Dynasty Warriors 8 had the better map in my opinion. Then next up we have Dynasty Warriors 2, and I think if Dynasty Warriors 2 had voice acting inside the game, like inside the battles, I think it would have actually been a little higher. But because we don't hear nothing, we just see them do the little arm thing. Again, arms are the power. That's why it's here for me at whatever number I'm at right now. The map itself is great. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they revamped it in Dynasty Warriors 7 Extreme Legends for a DLC because it was a really cool map. I think it was really, really interesting. You had the gauge, you had the little area where you can go up and sneak around them and kill Zhang Bao or Zhang Liang, and then you have Zhang Jiao sitting up in that little castle in the corner. So for me, Dynasty Warriors 2, the map itself is among the best. Then moving on to my next pick, which is going to be Dynasty Warriors 6. Alright, like, you can't beat the top two because of how iconic they are. But Dynasty Warriors 6 for me is among my favorites. I think the map itself is decent. I think like I said, the bases are great. It has a good symmetrical feel to it. The powers that the characters have, they're okay. The Phantom Troops are, again, more annoying than the dust thing or the fire traps. I've just had a lot of fun with it. A lot of the voice lines from that is just iconic. I mean, Zhang Liang saying his thing is just, it's very iconic to me. Anyway, coming in right after that, right before we hit my favorite one, in my opinion, number 2, we have Dynasty Warriors 4. Dynasty Warriors, I mean, they could be tied at this point. I mean, they're both absolutely incredible maps. But for me, I think Dynasty Warriors 3 has the edge because of the iconicness of the lines versus Dynasty Warriors 4. And I think if it just felt like Dynasty Warriors 3's, the map was a little bit bigger than Dynasty Warriors 4, which led to a more enjoyable experience. I think they both serve similar purposes, at least for me. They're both great maps to grind attribute points for your character or weapon XP in Dynasty Warriors 4. So I played a lot of those maps for some of my other videos. But for me personally, I think Dynasty Warriors 3 is going to take the cake. I mean, did you guys see how many rocks Zhang Bao had? Dude had, I'm telling you, unlimited supply. Not only was he rolling them down, but he was sending them off the cliff. Those aren't just regular rocks. Those are huge rocks. So there you go. That's what I have. The evolution of the Yellow Turban Rebellion throughout Dynasty Warriors 2 all the way to Dynasty Warriors 9. I think for the most part, overall for the map has been treated pretty well. Even on the maps that didn't do too well, they still had great moments, great events, and most of them followed the iconicness that the Yellow Turban Rebellion is supposed to be, at least within the games. Overall, one of the most iconic and best maps from the game, and one of the most enjoyable. It's one of those maps you can pull up and just play with anyone and chill, for the most part. But yeah, that's all I have for the video here, guys. This is my thoughts on the evolution of the Yellow Turban Rebellion map slash stage. We'll be doing probably Hu Lao next. It just seems to be the most logistical thing to do. We'll probably do the 8 originals from Dynasty Warriors 2 first, and then we'll go around and pick off the ones that we also know and love. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.